Hi, transportation lecture number 15. Now we are concluding and repeatedly we'll be discussing same thing now जो इसके पहले हम already discuss कर चुके हैं. Okay, so come to page number 189. We'll compare the profit का business photosynthesis with loss का business transpiration. याद है ना ये भाषा हमने सीखी थी. What we said, plant prepare food. Okay, and that food producing mechanism is the profit ka business. Okay, transpiration is water loss. Okay, that is loss ka business. जब तक profit का business फायदे में चलेगा, जब तक profit का business फायदे में चलेगा, loss tolerate किया जाएगा. जब तक photosynthesis का rate efficiently चलता है, water loss can be handled, can be tolerated. But if that loss, water loss, is becoming excessive and killing the leaf cell, plant cell by wilting, excessive evaporation, पानी evaporate हो जाएगा, leaf cell flaccid होंगे, okay, and then ultimately water content in the mesophyll cell will decrease and the cell may face plasmolysis. Right? So excessive transpiration leads to wilting. Excessive wilting leads to plasmolysis and death of the cell. So this is all about कौन सा business plant के लिए काम का है, right? Okay. So significances transpiration के है, लेकिन जब वो affordable है, isn't it? So what we said, transpiration is a necessary evil. Transpiration is a necessary evil, but though it is evil as it is happening, let us discuss its significances. Okay, so I have written it on the board. How transpiration is beneficial for the plant. First point, transpiration creates transpiration pull. Transpiration creates transpiration pull, because of which ascent of sap occurs in the plant. Because of ascent of sap, water is supplied, transported in entire plant body, and this water is one of the essential raw material for the process of photosynthesis. So the water supplied, transported because of transpiration pull is one of the raw material and provided for the process of photosynthesis. Then transport of mineral occurs always in dissolved form or along with the water. So transport of mineral from the soil to entire plant parts, that is possible because of ascent of sap, which is main reason of ascent of sap. We discussed transpiration pull. Then transpiration acts as coolant. Transpiration cools the plant body. How? Whenever the wet surface, okay, that water get evaporated. For evaporation, the heat is absorbed from the body. Heat is absorbed from the body. So obviously the body heat देगी evaporation के लिए. तो body ने, plant body ने अगर heat दे दी, तो obviously plant body cool होगी. So plant body is giving out heat. By using that heat, water is evaporated, and end result of that the leaves are cooled down. And one step ahead we discussed, it causes cooling effect to the plant. Along with that, it cools atmosphere, and that moisture addition plus cooling effect is regulating the water cycle in the ecosystem. Okay, ये point भी हमने इसके पहले discuss किया था. Okay, so it acts as a coolant. For coolant purpose, one of the important property of water is that it is having high specific heat. Okay, for evaporation of 1 cc of water, 1 cubic centimeter of water evaporate करने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा heat absorb हो जाती है. So liquid is converted to vapor. For that, the heat which is absorbed by the plant, that is what we said, latent heat. Okay, specific heat of water is high. So water acts as the best coolant, and it gives mechanical strength by maintaining turgor pressure of the leaf and the cell. You know, plants are having cell wall which is rigid outer structure. Plant is having cell wall which is rigid outer structure. So that rigid outer structure of the plant is maintained by the internal turgor pressure. Turgor pressure in the cell is maintained by water. Okay, what was the definition of turgor pressure? Hydrostatic pressure in the cell is turgor pressure, and cells are kept turgid. Okay, so cells are kept turgid, cells are giving mechanical strength, and that's why plant can stand erect. आपने देखा है लीफ पे अगर पानी कम हो गया तो वो विल्ट होता है, right? Okay, so these are the significances of transpiration, and now we'll compare rate of transpiration or transpiration with reference to photosynthesis. So transpiration and photosynthesis. So let's read the content, page number 189. Transpiration has more than one purpose. Just now we enlisted. So I'm going to next paragraph. An actively photosynthesizing plant has an insatiable need for water. जब प्लांट एक्टिवली फोटोसिंथेसिस करता है तो उसके लिए वाटर बहुत जरूरी है. इट्स इंटेंशनली नीडेड फॉर टू पर्पज. फॉर कीपिंग द गार्ड सेल टर्जिड ओपन सो दैट CO2 कैन डिफ्यूज इन, एंड सेकंड वाटर एज अ रॉ मटेरियल. So water is one of the most needed raw material, as well as the thing to keep stomata open is water. Photosynthesis is limited by available water, which can be swiftly depleted by transpiration. Photosynthesis is using water. Water is one of the essential raw material, but that raw material which is collected by the plant, absorbed by the plant from the soil by taking huge efforts, is just lost by transpiration. फोटोसिंथेसिस के लिए पानी जो रॉ मटेरियल है, वो रॉ मटेरियल प्लांट जमीन से बहुत एफर्ट्स लेके खींचता है, ट्रांसपिरेशन से वो गवाता है. सो प्लांट डेवलप एन नंबर ऑफ एडाप्टेशंस टू रिड्यूस द रेट ऑफ ट्रांसपिरेशन, व्हिच वी हैव डिस्कस्ड इन एनाटॉमी. sunken stomata, covered stomata, thick cuticle, right? Then opening and closing of stomata, hairy outgrowth, trichomes, okay, phylloclade, cladophyll, isn't it? Then phylloid, then leaves are reduced to spine, needle-shaped leaves. All these modifications which are done by aerial plant part are to regulate, are to check the control, reduce the rate of transpiration. Okay, so these are all adaptations. The humidity of rainforest is largely due to the vast cycling of water from root to leaf to atmosphere and back to soil. See, I said water cycle. In evergreen forest, soil is hydrated because every day they are getting rain. Evergreen forest में रोज बारिश आती है शाम को. So water जमीन में जाएगा, roots water absorb करेंगे, leaf उसको transpire करेंगे, cooling करेंगे, and again rain आएगा. Okay, so this is how water cycle is maintained in ecosystem because of transpiration. Now you are remembering photosynthesis, what we discussed. Okay, come to the last paragraph of this comparison. The evolution for C4 photosynthetic system is probably one of the strategies for maximizing the availability of CO2 while minimizing the loss, water loss. Why plant evolve and become C4 plant? C3 plant are terrestrial plants, C4 plants are tropical plants. Why this evolution occurs? C3 modify themselves to C4. There are two reasons. One, to use CO2 efficiently in any adverse condition, and to check the rate of transpiration. Now, why C4 are using CO2 efficiently? Because they are having PEP carboxylase, which is having great affinity for CO2. And one more, the vein is surrounded by bundle sheath cells. In C4 plant, vein is surrounded by bundle sheath cells. So rate of transpiration decreases in C4 plant. So these are the two benefits. Okay, see now. C4 plants are twice as efficient as C3 plants in terms of fixing CO2, making sugar. At high temperature, the efficiency of C4 is twice than C3. However, C4 loses only half as much as water as C3 plant for the same amount of CO2 fixation. Okay, so if we talk about, let us consider that plant want to fix 100 molecules of CO2. Okay, 100 molecules of CO2, और अगर हम 6 CO2 की बात करते हैं, चलो सिंपल फोटोसिंथेसिस का इक्वेशन 6 CO2 plus 12 water molecule, and 6 water molecules are regenerated. सो 6 वाटर मॉलिक्यूल के लिए 6 CO2 लगते हैं। ओके, ये जो रेशो है ओके वो C4 प्लांट में हाफ में आएगा। क्यों? बिकॉज C4 reduces the rate of transpiration. Understood? Okay, so for double fixation of CO2, okay, CO2 डबल फिक्स होंगे, ग्लूकोज डबल बनेगा और वाटर का रिक्वायरमेंट C3 से हाफ लगेगा। Okay, so this is how the calculations are. That's why C4 are more efficient than C3 in adverse climatic conditions. Understood, right? So this is what is about photosynthesis and transpiration and its relation. Now let's proceed for food transportation. Uptake of minerals from the soil by the roots. See, first of all, remember, minerals are transported along with water, but minerals are absorbed by zone of elongation. Water absorption, root hair zone. Zone of elongation is mainly designed for absorption of mineral. There are different theories, ion exchange and all, they are not there in your syllabus. So mineral का absorption का अलग अलग theories पे अगर question आता है, neglected, it's not in your syllabus. Minerals are absorbed actively as well as passively. Minerals are absorbed actively as well as passively. You know, this is root. Okay, this root, zone of absorption, and this is zone of elongation. So as said, here minerals are mainly uptaken and root hair cell absorb water. Root hair cell absorb water, right? So anyhow, first uptake. Okay. So object देखो generally, you know, active as well as passive. Okay. So see, initially when the root is growing, the root cell is having less ions in it, soil is having more. So initial absorption of mineral will be passive because it is following concentration gradient. But as minerals are going in, absorbed, then they accumulate in the cells. So when the cytoplasm of the cell is having more minerals than the soil, then obviously the minerals absorbed passively. Okay, so remember this first line, most minerals are actively absorbed. Okay, one more line is there, all minerals are not absorbed actively, all minerals are not absorbed passively. It is conditional. Okay, but generally minerals are absorbed actively. Okay, they can be absorbed passively also. There are two reasons why they are actively absorbed. Okay, one reason I said, because continuous absorption, the accumulation of mineral in the root hair is always more. So root hair is already having more minerals, soil is having less. So absorption will be active. One more thing, the minerals are charged and even the lipoproteinous layer. Okay, you know, charged chemical will not pass through lipid, but they mainly pass through protein, and that too the proteins are pump protein. So because of these two reasons, the transportation of mineral is mainly active. Okay, so these two lines, most minerals are actively absorbed because they are charged, and second, they are already in more concentration in the root hair cell. So I am reading the content line by line. Uptake and transport of mineral nutrients. Plants obtain their carbon and most of their oxygen from CO2 in their atmosphere. Okay, most of the gaseous exchange is with the help of air. Okay, so carbon is provided by CO2 and oxygen for respiration is also absorbed from the air. Plants obtain their carbon and most of their oxygen from CO2 in atmosphere. Right? Okay. Then, however, their remaining nutrients requirement are obtained from mineral and water from hydrogen in the soil. Okay. अब photosynthesis से याद करो. Carbon is source of carbon in glucose. CO2 का कार्बन ग्लूकोज में से आता है, CO2 का ऑक्सीजन भी ग्लूकोज में जाता है. तो ग्लूकोज में जो ऑक्सीजन है वो भी कहां से आया? CO2 से आया. All oxygen which is given out is coming from water. Oxygen which is evolved in process of photosynthesis comes from water and not from CO2. So obviously the oxygen which is present in glucose is coming from CO2. So ग्लूकोज में का कार्बन CO2 ने दिया, ग्लूकोज में का ऑक्सीजन CO2 ने दिया, ग्लूकोज में जो हाइड्रोजन है वो आया वाटर से. Why we are talking about glucose? Glucose अरे फूड है, सोर्स देखना पड़ेगा. Okay, so glucose is so food for plant, food for heterotroph. So from where the elements are coming, we are thinking about that, right? Okay, see now. However, there are remaining nutrients coming from mineral, that is from soil. All the nutrients which are provided from soil are collectively called as minerals. All the nutrients provided from soil are collectively called as minerals. See. Unlike water, all minerals cannot be passively absorbed by the roots. Okay, unlike water, means water is only passively absorbed by apoplastic movement. Okay, water जैसे mineral passively absorb नहीं होंगे. Okay, two factors account for this. Minerals are present in the soil are charged particles. Okay, so first reason, minerals are charged particles. Okay, that's why they are absorbed passively. That's why they are absorbed actively, because the lipid layer is not allowing charged particle to move through it. Okay, then second point, minerals are present in soil are charged particle ions which cannot move across cell membrane, and second, the concentration of mineral in the soil is usually lower. Soil has lower ions and the cell has more ions in it of minerals in the root. Therefore, most mineral must enter the root by active absorption. So when it is moving against the concentration gradient, ATP has to be spent into cytoplasm of the epidermis. This needs energy in the form of ATP. The active uptake of ion is partly responsible for the water potential gradient in roots. Okay, one more thing. What is benefit of it? Okay, इसका दूसरा रीजन लिख लिया ना आपने, against concentration gradient. They are absorbed against concentration gradient. Okay, ठीक है, चलो next point. Minerals are active uptake and accumulate in root cell, creating water pressure gradient. Okay, अब root cell में आयन आके accumulate हो गए तो root cell का water potential, free water molecule कम हो गए, concentration बढ़ गया, so it sucks water. Okay, and osmosis becomes a continuous process. That is one more benefit of absorption and accumulation of minerals. Okay, see, some ions also move into epidermis passively. Okay, it's not that all are actively absorbed, some move passively. Ions are absorbed from the soil by both passive and active movement. Bottom line. But most ions are absorbed, ये most ध्यान में रखना, most ions are absorbed actively. Come to the next paragraph. Ions are absorbed from the soil by both passive and active transport. Specific proteins in the membranes of root hair cell actively pump ions from the soil into the cytoplasm. From the soil, the minerals are actively pumped in, right? Because it is against the concentration gradient. Specific protein in the membrane, channel protein, tunnel protein, सब सीखा ना हमने. Okay, actively pump ion from the soil into cytoplasm of the epidermal cell. Like all cells, the endodermal cell have many transport protein embedded in the plasma membrane. They let some solute cross the membrane. Okay, they allow the membrane is allowing some solute to pass through it, but not others because it is selectively permeable. Transport protein of endodermal cell are control point, underline. Transport proteins of endodermals are control point which control which type of nutrient should be absorbed and by what amount it should be absorbed. So they are control points. Note that root endodermis, because of the layer of suberin, has ability to actively transport ion in one direction only. Suberized wall which are radial and tangential to water absorption, okay, are allowing unidirectional flow of ions and water. समझ रहे हो? ओके, सो दिस इज ऑल जनरल इंफॉर्मेशन. ये जो मैंने लाइंस लिख के दिए इस पे ध्यान दो. ये लाइंस पे एमसीक्यू फ्रेम होंगे. ओके, और ये लाइंस आप बार बार बोलेंगे तो स्क्रीनशॉट नहीं, लिख के लेना है. ओके, एंड कम टू द next part, that is translocation of mineral ions. Okay, we are having one separate lesson for it. Here they are briefing. Okay, complete your writing. So next part of transportation. Till now we discussed transportation of water and different methods by which water is uplifted and transported. But along with water, plant is absorbing the minerals. Minerals are absorbed by the plant from the soil. Mineral is defined. Mineral ऐसे define होता है. All the nutrients which are absorbed by the plant from the soil are called minerals. Okay, see, plant require various nutrients. You too require various nutrients. For being alive, we uptake variety of nutrients from the surrounding. So we take the nutrients in the form of food, and the food is ready-made. So we are heterotrophs. Plant too need nutrients to remain alive, but they are taking nutrients from the surrounding in inorganic form, and they prepare their own food. So plants are autotrophs. Understood? So plant too require nutrients, animals too require nutrients. We obtain nutrients from food, which is organic. Plant absorb nutrients from the surrounding in inorganic form. They are raw material and used to prepare food. Okay, जैसे ग्लूकोज बनाने के लिए कार्बन न्यूट्रिएंट लगता है. So carbon is coming from CO2. ग्लूकोज में जो हाइड्रोजन है, that hydrogen is coming from water. Okay, so carbon and hydrogen are nutrients for the plant. Now, if the nutrients are absorbed from the soil, then they are minerals. Okay, so as root absorb water from the soil, these minerals also get absorbed from the root, and they are uplifted along with the water. Right? Okay, so see, these minerals which are absorbed from the soil shows active as well as passive absorption. See, newborn baby cell or new cell which is having less minerals in it, its cytoplasm is not concentrated. It will uptake the nutrients from the soil in a passive fashion, passive way. But as the nutrients, as the minerals are accumulated within the cell, then the cell cytoplasm is more concentrated, having more nutrients, more minerals in it, and the soil has less. So that absorption will be active. Okay, so first statement, minerals are absorbed actively as well as passively, but mainly they are absorbed actively. Mainly they are absorbed actively. समझ रहे हो? First, if active passive both options are there, then answer will be both. Mainly word is there in MCQ, then the active absorption. Or majority of nutrients are uptaken. Generally, the nutrients are uptaken actively by the plant in the form with the help of roots from the soil. Then, in STEM, mineral transport is through the transportation stream. So, how the things are there? As the nutrients are uptaken, as the minerals are absorbed from the soil, they come in main path, main flow, and along with the water, that water is uplifted, that is ascent of sap. Along with the water, variety of minerals, nutrients are uplifted. So that is sap, ascent of sap. Along with the water, all these chemicals are transported in the plant body. Ascent of sap is because of variety of reason. Main reason is transpiration pull. So it is uplifted, transported through the transpiration stream. Along with the water, all chemicals, nutrients are absorbed by the plant along with the water through the xylem in dissolved form, and that is ascent of sap, and its cause is transpiration. So that is transpiration stream. Direction. how they are transported. The plant is absorbing variety of chemical, and roots are the organ which are absorbing the nutrients, and from the root it is transported to meristem, young leaves, developing flower, seeds, fruit, where they are consumed. Okay, so from the source it is moving to all these areas. It may be meristem, young leaves, developing flower, seed, fruit. All these things are growing. So for growth, ये सब grow होने वाले structures है. So growth के लिए इनको nutrients चाहिए. ये mineral जो soil में से आते हैं, वो water के साथ uplift होंगे और all growing plant part को provide किए जाएंगे. Okay, जहाँ पे वो use होंगे. Cell division के लिए, cell plant की body बनाने के लिए इनका use होगा. Okay, or excess amount is stored. It is in storage form. So this is the source end, and where they are used is the sink end. Source and sink. Source and sink. समझ रहे हो? So the transportation is in this form. Understood? Now there are two types of nutrients. There are two types of mineral. One is mobilized and other one is not mobilized. So next point I am adding types of minerals. Types of minerals, as I said, are mainly of two types: mobilized and not mobilized, non-mobilized. Barabar. So see. Mobilized now the word that mobilized and non-mobilized word is indicating you clearly what will be their behavior in the plant body. Okay, so see, I have drawn this diagram many times. This is a plant body. I am drawing a stem part. This is root, leaf, major plant body. Now what we said, the nutrients which are absorbed from the soil are mineral. They are actively as well as passively uplifted, absorbed by the root hair cell, then moves onward as it reaches to the xylem. As it reaches to this xylem, then it is following transpiration stream. Okay, it is moving. Now the nutrients are used by the apical meristem, intercalary meristem, then the growing leaf. It may be having flower, bud, flower grow होके fertilization के बाद it may develop into fruit. Okay, so this is how the nutrients are transported. Just now we discussed. Now the leaf is accumulating, storing the nutrients. This is old leaf. Here I am drawing a young leaf. Now see, if this leaf when showing aging symptoms is called sinensis. Aging symptom is called sinensis. Then before getting shed off, ये leaf बुढ़ा हो रहा है. Okay, अब कुछ दिनों के बाद मरने वाला है. Plant body knows it. तो ये nutrients जो leaf में है, the nutrients which are present in the leaf will be wasted. Okay, देखो plant ने कितने efforts लिए थे. It is absorbed actively, passively, uplifted, then goes in the young leaf, then used in the process of metabolic reactions. They are part of raw material of metabolic reaction, and now they are present in the leaf. But the once leaf will be dead, all those efforts which are taken to absorb the nutrients will be wasted. So what is done by the plant? The nutrients which are present in the old leaf are transported back to young growing plant parts. Okay, so they are mobilized from old plant part to young plant part. So this process is of mobilization. But does it mean all the nutrients are mobilized? No. Few nutrients, few minerals are mobilized and few are not. Understood, right? So this is all about transportation of nutrients, minerals which occur. Nutrients बनाने के लिए एज अ सोर्स जो सॉइल में से लिया जाता है, वो मिनरल्स हमने दो प्रकार से क्लासिफाई किए. अगर सॉइल से आता है, इफ द सोर्स इज सॉइल, देन इट इज मिनरल, राइट? देन इफ सोर्स इज नॉट सॉइल, इट इज नॉन मिनरल. Then on the basis of mobility, they are mobile minerals and some are not mobile minerals. Okay, chalo, come to NCERT, page number 190. Transportation, translocation of mineral ions. Translocation of mineral ions. After the ions have reached xylem through active or passive uptake or a combination of both. Okay, first line. Minerals are absorbed actively as well as passively, mainly actively. After the ions have reached xylem through active or passive uptake or a combination of the two, their further transportation up to the stem to all plant parts. The plant is through transpiration stream. Once it reaches to xylem, then it is uplifted along with the transpiration stream. The chief sink for mineral elements are growing region of the plant such as apical and lateral intercalary meristem. Chief sink. Sink means where it has been used. Source to sink. The chief sink is meristem. Okay. Chief sink में हम किसको mark करेंगे? This is meristem. Meristem, which is found in all plants, is primary meristem. It is intercalary and apical meristem. The chief sink for mineral elements are the growing region of the plant such as apical and lateral meristem, young leaves, developing flowers, fruits and seeds, and storage organs. Okay, so first they will be transported to all these things, and if the excess amount of minerals or elements are absorbed, then they are transported to storage organ and there they are stored. Unloading of minerals ions occur at the fine vein ending through diffusion and active uptake by these cells. Okay, so देखो एक एक लाइन कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है. जैसे ही ये मिनरल कहाँ पे चले गए? once they reach the leaf, तो vein ending में vein में से जाएंगे. Okay, I am drawing it here, bigger diagram, just get it. ये मेन वेन है, ये साइड वेन्स है. Okay, so as the minerals are going to young leaves in the vein ending, they are taken up by the surrounding cell. That is called unloading. वेन में से मिनरल बाजू का सेल वेन एंडिंग से ले लेगा. Okay, so unloading of mineral occurs at the fine vein endings and it goes to surrounding cell. It will be vein endings through diffusion and active uptake by this cell. So vein में से ये cell nutrients, minerals actively ले लेगा. Mineral ions are frequently remobilized. First they are translocated, stored over there, and again they are mobilized. Mineral ions are frequently remobilized, particularly from old senescing plant parts. बुढ़े लीफ से young plant part की तरफ. Older decaying leaves export much of their mineral content to young leaves. Old leaf में जो भी minerals थे, वो young leaf को export कर दिए गए. Similarly, before leaf fall in deciduous plant, minerals are removed to other plant part. What are deciduous plants? Throughout the year, in one season, they shed off the leaves. So that deciduous tree, whenever leaves are shed off, prior to that, nutrients are absorbed, elements are absorbed. Okay, so they are remobilized and exported. Elements most readily mobilized are phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen, potassium. Write down हमने जो दो टाइप लिखे, readily mobilized लिखो इसके सामने, phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen, potassium. are readily mobilized. And non-mobile के सामने लिख लो कैल्शियम. लिख रहे हो आप? Phosphorus, nitrogen, sulfur and potassium. Immobilization mainly of calcium. Now we'll discuss in detail in mineral nutrition. We have one more lesson, mineral nutrition. This part we'll discuss in detail in that lesson. See now, an analysis of xylem exudates shows that through some of the nitrogen levels as inorganic ions, some of the nitrogen travels as inorganic ion, much of it is carried in form of organic form or amino acid. Okay. So whatever nitrogen is transported is mainly in form of organic form, that is amino acid. Very little are transported in inorganic form. Similarly, small amount of P and S are carried as organic compounds. P and S are mainly also carried in form of organic compound and little amount is carried in inorganic form. Similarly, small amount of P and S are carried as organic compound. In addition, small amount of exchange of material does take place between xylem and phloem. It's not that water and these elements are transported only through xylem. Food is transported only through phloem. It's not like that. It's combination of both. Ultimately, the cell should get organic as well as inorganic chemical, whoever is supplying it. Okay, and it has to be, the needs of the growing cell has to be satisfied. In addition, small amount of exchange of material does take place between xylem and phloem. Hence, it is not that we can clearly make a distinction and say categorically that xylem transport only organic nutrients while xylem transport only inorganic nutrients while phloem transport only organic material as was traditionally believed. इसके पहले हम ऐसा बिलीव करते थे कि xylem सिर्फ इनऑर्गेनिक केमिकल ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है, phloem सिर्फ ऑर्गेनिक केमिकल ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है. ऐसी बात नहीं है. इट्स कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ बोथ एंड इवन xylem phloem के बीच में भी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन हो सकता है. समझ रहे हो? तो मेनली इनऑर्गेनिक केमिकल आर ट्रांसपोर्टेड विद द हेल्प ऑफ xylem, but some soluble organic chemical may be present in it. Mainly food is transported with the help of phloem, but for that transportation also phloem require help of water, which is inorganic chemical. So it is combination of both and the chemicals are uplifted, elements are uplifted. Okay, so यहाँ पे हमको शब्द ध्यान में रखने हैं, active, passive, uptake. Then root is absorbing actively as well as passively, but main absorption is active. Then it is uplifted along with the transpiration pull, that is transpiration stream. As it goes, all the growing plant part are major consuming centers, that is called sink. So the transportation is from source to sink, right? Main source, root is the source which is absorbing from soil, and sink is meristeme, intercalary as well as apical meristeme and all young plant part. Excess material is stored. Whenever the chemicals are stored, they can be exported again, they can be mobilized and they are again transported to young plant part. Such elements are called mobilized and few are not mobilized. Clear? And at when ending, its unloading is generally active. So find when ending, say ये cell actively nutrients unload कर लेगा. Okay? So यहाँ पे mainly MCQ जो frame किए जाते हैं, same line to line they will add. Okay, and the question will be how many statements are correct, how many statements are false. Okay, which are correct, which are false. Like that content can be asked. So read these paragraphs very carefully and write down the points. Okay, see, this is half page. Total content of the half page we wrote only in 4 points. Understood? So that will be for further preparation, but line to line NCERT reading is very much needed for such content. MCQ framing on this way MCQ framing on this content in this way, true false में आसानी से MCQ फ्रेम होते हैं और अभी तक पूछे भी गए हैं. So read NCERT properly. This understanding is not very difficult. Write down the points.